presentation covers the July 2020 update to the USAT Competitive Rules for Article 7, Transition Area Conduct. Athletes ask exactly how much space the USAT competition rules say they are entitled to in transition zone. The short answer is that athletes have less space than they feel they are entitled. Officials enforce the competitive rules to ensure a safe and fair event for all participants. This includes athlete conduct in transition. Space constraints for transition areas can make sufficient space for athlete equipment needs and desires a challenge. Race directors may assign an individual space for equipment, or have participants place their equipment in a rack which is intended to serve several participants. The Article 7 rules pertaining to equipment and behavior remain consistent regardless of the racking strategy. Remember that transition areas are for athletes only, and that glass containers are prohibited. Any participant who brings a glass container into transition will be disqualified. USAT Competition Rule 7.2 states, all participants shall place equipment only in the properly designated and individually assigned bicycle corral, and shall at all times keep equipment confined to the properly designated areas. Equipment already used must be returned to the properly designated area. Race directors may permit athletes to stow gear bags at the edge of transition, but no race equipment may be placed there. In the case of individually assigned bike corrals, the bike must be racked on the same side with the wheel down and facing out from the direction of the number. Participants may rack their bicycle by the seat, handlebars, or brake hoods. Racking preference may be specified in event-specific materials. The equipment used in competition must be placed next to the athlete's downed wheel, under the rack, and not in the aisles of transition where there's a risk of inhibiting another participant's progress. It could also be in an individually specified transition area container provided by event management. Equipment, shoes, glasses, and helmet may be placed on the bike itself. USAT Competition Rule 7.4 states that no participant shall impede or interfere with the forward progress of or interfere with another participant's equipment while in transition area. A strong correlation exists between late arrival to transition and the possibility of misplacing equipment. Less equipment brought into transition means less clutter and more space for all participants. Competition Rule 7.6 states that all participants must have their helmets securely fastened before they remove their bike from the rack before the start of the bike leg. Officials may warn the athlete before assessing a variable time penalty. Competition Rule 7.1 states that participants must reduce cycling speed to a safe level when exiting and entering transition. All participants must return their bicycles to an upright and stable position in the properly designated bike corral after the bike course and before the beginning the run. All participants must have their helmets securely fastened until they have placed their bike on the rack after finish of the bike leg. Helmet infractions in transition can lead to a variable time penalty if not immediately corrected. Participants may also be warned for mount and dismount line infractions. In the case of these warn and amend penalties, the athlete will be asked to correct their behavior, such as putting on and fastening their helmet before continuing, or correctly repeating the bike mount or dismount. These few seconds are a reasonable alternative to a variable time penalty. The rest of transition area violations remain unchanged. More information can be found at www.usatriathlon.org. Select the USAT for Me link, then select the Athlete Resources link, then select Rulebook. You can also go to www.facebook.com. /USAT Rules Guy or email to michael.s.bowen@gmail.com.